a beautiful night for soccer on the Palouse as we've got more Pac-12 non-conference action, this time a regional rivalry pitting Eastern Washington against Washington State. Welcome inside the booth, everybody. I'm Trevor Williams. Glad to have you with us for another night of soccer in the Pac-12 Conference. And it's going to be a fun one tonight between these two rivals who are just separated by 65 miles on Highway 95. For Washington State, this is a game where they're trying to come back off of a disappointing result a week ago. Arkansas State came onto the Palouse and stunned the Cougs early. Abigail Miller in the 16th minute, putting Arkansas State up 1-0. Washington State had a lot of opportunities in this game, 39 shots. And Todd Schulenberger said this week that really the only frustration leaving that game was not converting the corners. Luckily, the Cougars did have a penalty kick opportunity, and Sydney Pulver put it home to knot the game at 1. Washington State, the tremendous 39 shot opportunities, had opportunities in overtime as well to try to win the ball game. But Megan McClure, the keeper for Arkansas State, had a fantastic outing, and we ended up tied last Thursday 1-1 after 110 minutes of double overtime soccer. Take a look at the stats from that matchup, and we mentioned the superlatives for the Cougars. There were plenty of them. Last year, Washington State welcomed Eastern Washington to Pullman in the bubble. Grayson Lynch scored in the 7th minute after Eastern Washington opened the scoring. More on that in a second when we talk about the Eagles player to watch. How about this goal from Elise Bennett? Beautiful bender in the 45th to give Washington State a lead. And there was one other goal from Makamai Gomera-Stevens, who since graduated. Margie DeTrizio helped put it away late for the Cougars, and they went on to win in last year's meeting 4-1 over Eastern Washington. You see a disparity in the shots there from last year as well, and not a busy night for Marissa Zucchetto in net. Didn't have to make a save in that victory for the Cougars. In terms of players to watch tonight, we mentioned Madison Kem. She's a player for Missy Strasburg's Eagles that really is going to have to be the player to calm things down in the midfield. On the other side, Micaiah Maness for the Cougars, an all Pac-12 third-teamer. Great defender, helped spur the penalty kick a week ago. It's the Cougars and the Eagles coming up next on Pac-12+. Beautiful night for soccer in Pullman, Washington. Washington State and Eastern Washington tonight in what should be a good one. Fans basking in the sun. The match was moved up from Sunday to Saturday, and it should be a fun one tonight between Eastern Washington and Washington State. Taking a look at the starting lineup for the Eagles, Missy Strasburg is in her first season as the head coach at Eastern Washington. Been a tough going non-conference play, a difficult non-conference schedule so far for Eastern Washington, and they played the same Arkansas State team that took Washington State to a draw a week ago. That matchup was last Saturday, so you see the starting 11 there. For Washington State on its side, coming off of the draw against Arkansas State, only match the Cougars have played so far this year. Of note, Kalia Gathright has earned an opportunity for a start. She takes the spot of Aleli Hernandez-Represa for the Cougars from a week ago. And a lot of that because of the freshman Gathright's aggressiveness in that first match for the Cougars against Arkansas State. It resulted in 39 shots for Washington State, 20 corner kicks, but the Cougars only the one goal on a PK. So looking to clean that up tonight as they take on a regional rival in Eastern Washington. See Micaiah Maness, one of those leaders of this Cougar team, which leads the all-time series with Eastern Washington 6-0. You see the Cougars have had a lot of success, 26-4, the goal advantage in the series. See the energy that Maness brings to the pitch tonight. So we are ready to go with Eric Kruger, our referee, Sabrina Osman, R.C. Hefner, Carson Ellis, the rest of the officials tonight in Pullman. Cougars get to start with possession tonight. We'll see right away what it looks like from Washington State after the 39 shot opportunities. Maya Elder Hammond for Eastern Washington knocking it into the Cougar bench. our Pac-12 Plus team. Glad to be with you tonight in Pullman. Just picture perfect weather tonight for soccer. Temperatures today touched 80. It'll be comfortable 70s this evening on the pitch for both of these teams. See Marissa Zucchetto, the Cougar keeper, knocking it over to Grayson Lynch. Lynch is on the run. Nice step in by Mariana Henderson, and Lynch gets it right on back into the box. And the first touch for Kelsey Winston, the senior from Pasco, had 4 shutouts a year ago. She's in goal for Eastern Washington tonight, as she was last season against Washington State. Came up with 13 saves in that match with the Cougars. Washington State won it 4-1 in what was the season opener of a spring season. The Cougars get possession back. Pulver, who had the goal on Thursday. Went through Studer, and it's now over to Gathright, who we mentioned gets the start tonight for Washington State. Gathright having it poked out of bounds by Mariana Henderson. Gathright out of Cypress, California. Talking to Todd Schulenberger this week, he really loved the aggressiveness, the intent to get to net for Kalia Gathright. He's known what a good defender she's been throughout camp and now the early part of the season. It's kind of right up there battling with Reese Tappan for an opportunity to start. Tappan for the Cougars is, there's a foul here stepping into Makai Maness, but Tappan for the Cougars, one of those players that got the start on Thursday night, another one of those freshmen getting started early on in her Washington State career. Really up and down the lineup. Todd Schulenberger was very happy with the depth and how the team performed. 19 played last week for Washington State. This served in. There's a big collision in the box. A foul's called, and it's before the Cougars are able to net what would have been a goal for Bridget Reekin, and a magnificent one at that. But the Cougars are called for the foul. Would have been 1-0 Washington State on the service in by Studer. But the collision with Kelsey Winston leads to a foul before what would have been the game's first goal. Lynch with it. Again, Henderson, who's been busy early. Enzi Broussard for Washington State trying to settle it. Here's Studer. Lynch nearly was able to flick it off the heel, could not. Elder Hammond stepping through it. Able to find Jillian Martin as Eastern Washington tries to make a move into the midfield. They're going to expect a lot of pressure from the Cougars, as seen there by Mackenzie Frimpong-Ellertson. Up forward to Broussard. Broussard going to earn a first corner kick for Washington State. Chased Henderson all the way to the end line. Sydney Pulver is going to take it for the Cougars. Had the set piece opportunity when it looked like Washington State was going to score a goal just about a minute ago. Pulver's been a part of all 3 Cougar goals, 2 in the exhibition, and then the PK last week against Arkansas State. Ends up going short with Frimpong-Ellertson and gets it right back. Now the cross into the box, and this is volleyed a couple times out by Eastern Washington. It'll play all the way back to Reese Tappan. Little pressure coming from Soraya Keister, trying to get to these 3 backs for the Cougars. Good play to step in by Maddie Morgan. Morgan right back towards Keister, but Bridget Reekin able to take it away for Washington State. Enzi Broussard gets shoved. No whistle comes. Will settle for Maya Elder Hammond. The crowd here certainly thought it deserved a foul. Grayson Lynch, little room to carry it on and lost her footing. Came right free to Madison Kim, who we highlighted in the open. It's a player who's going to have to be a steady presence in the midfield for Missy Strasburg. That's what she told us when we talked to her this week. Expects a lot of pressure in that midfield, needs to see her team settle and gain some possession and then start moving the ball along to know that things are going well. And she said it has to be a calm demeanor for her team here today. It's 0-2 to start the season. Kem looking for Elder Hammond. Pulver trying to redirect it. Martin tucking that right arm away to avoid the handball. And Gathright driving it off of Martin, but they'll say last off of Gathright. So throw for Eastern Washington. Crowd a little disgruntled early. Elise Bennett. Big opportunity for the Cougars. Broussard is through and onside. 1v1, Enzi Broussard, and just misses the post. Wanted to angle far side, and the Cougars just miss a shot there. And the transfer, Enzi Broussard, a junior from Dallas who comes to Washington State from West Virginia. 5 goals in the career. Nice crowd tonight in Pullman. It was a magnificent crowd last week when Washington State took on Arkansas State. See how energized that student section was. Bleachers were packed, and it led to the largest crowd in lower soccer field history in Pullman. See, 3,147. First time that the Cougars ever seen more than 3,000 through the turnstiles in Pullman. Tonight it'll be a little smaller than that, but still a very, very good crowd on this Saturday evening. 1 week into classes for the students here on the Palouse. Cougar throw in coming. Quick reset towards Broussard. It's a tight contest along the side with Marissa Mills. Possession will stay with the Cougars. 8th minute action. Broussard had the 1v1 opportunity, and Washington State was called for a foul in the box on a set piece. And Bridget Reekin almost had a tremendous goal for the Cougars. Stay with Washington State as Henderson knocked it out from behind Bennett. Going to be a long throw here from Bennett into Broussard. One flick to the back post. Frimpong Ellertson has the speed to go get to it. Trying to get back around Kem. Tied up on the end line. It's a goal kick. Would have been a foul against Washington State anyways. They'll enforce the foul. See Missy Strasburg, first-year head coach for Eastern Washington. Formerly at Air Force. Familiar with Eastern Washington, played at Gonzaga. Played a couple seasons at the lower soccer field against Washington State. Granted, it looked a little different last time she was here as a player. The cross in, Broussard's header is going to be off the mark. Time and a cross coming from Elise Bennett once again. Missy Strasburg, the 4th head coach in Eastern Washington history, looking to build something for the Eagles. Todd Schulenberger, he has built something for Washington State. Schulenberger in his 7th season as the head coach of the Cougars. The Cougars have a great record under Todd Schulenberger. 67 wins all time for him at Washington State. Took the Cougars to a College Cup 2 years ago.
Now in for the Eagles, number 22, Brittany Delridge.
Action holds as Brittany Delridge comes in for Eastern Washington. Early substitution, little injury as Kem trying to play it back towards Keister, and Maness knocks it out to play far side, and it's going to Washington State. It's deflected right back off of Maddie Kem. You're going to hear a lot of Kem and Keister. Sophomore Kem, Keister the senior, is a second-team All-Big Sky member, and be one of the more dangerous weapons that Eastern Washington has offensively.
Studer and Pulver trying to work out of trouble. Bennett controlling it in the midfield. Studer trying to get another through ball to Broussard, who's had a couple opportunities early for Washington State. Good possession through Maddie Kemp. Washington State wins it right back via Pulver. Frimpong Ellerton has a pair left and right. Takes it wide to Gathright. She put some nice moves on defenders back on Thursday, this time swiveling around Grace Terrell. But Terrell does a good job to keep that out of trouble for Eastern Washington. And Jillian Martin going to try to get on the run. Pulver, the nice reversal step, and gets tied up at the feet with Martin, and the foul called against Martin. Combination of Maness and Pulver helping get that possession back for Washington State, and great footwork by Sydney Pulver, who's a super senior. 79th career game for Pulver, 72nd career start. And she is 9 games away from the all-time matches played record at Washington State, Sydney Pulver. Their high service in. Deflected away by Henderson, with Martin now chasing, able to turn and face. Keister couldn't quite get a right foot up to it. But again, Eastern Washington able to settle here in the midfield. Keister's pass off target for Terrell, taken away by Lynch. Upfield, Broussard looking for Bennett, and she was offsides. Nearly a 13th minute opportunity for the Cougars, with the flag up. And in the early stages, a couple Cougars shots, 2 fouls to either side. And 1 corner kick. You see Elise Bennett, De Pere, Wisconsin native, who is another super senior, the 5 for the Cougars. Led all Cougs with 6 shots on Thursday against Arkansas State. That was to be expected from the forward. Maness making the decision to allow her team to set up defensively. As Eastern Washington will have the throw-in entering minute number 14. With the lower soccer field in Pullman tonight, Brittany Delridge, who checked in a couple minutes ago, has the long throw-in, bounces off of Gathright, and Zucchetto's able to make a clean catch. Slingshotting it out to Studer. Now Frimpong Ellerton saw an opportunity to get it to Elise Bennett. Bennett, great strike! Big save by Kelsey Winston. 3rd shot for the Cougars, and a great save by the senior keeper. Bennett had a goal last year against Eastern Washington as well. Was on a bending shot that went cross post for a goal. Washington State throwing along the far side, entering minute number 15. Shots so far for the Cougars, 2 for Broussard, 1 for Bennett. One of those shots on frame. That was Bennett's on the last opportunity. It was kept out by Winston. Frimpong Ellerton, Winston able to deflect it. Lynch racing it down in the corner. Pivots and fires herself. It's going far post and just bounces on past. More opportunities for Washington State in a big sequence there. Kelsey Winston holding her own though. Already has a pair of saves in this match after 13 a season ago. This was the Frimpong Ellerton try. The first of those 2. Grayson Lynch tried to follow it up, but it bounded back post. Soraya Keister being chased by Bridget Reekin. Keister hasn't had a lot of luck passing through the midfield. Through ball to Bennett, perfectly placed. It bounces once. Bennett's trying to race after it, still free. It looked like Kelsey Winston took a shove. She threw her arms out looking for a foul. Nothing called. It's a goal kick coming. We'll get a second look at this. As Elise Bennett, as soon as she saw it take a quick bounce off of Kelsey Winston, tried to get to it behind the keeper. First off, an excellent pass by Grayson Lynch. Beautiful run on. And it did look like Elise Bennett maybe got away with a bit of a shove there. Officials, it does look like, assessed a foul now. Third on Washington State. But another big showing by Kelsey Winston. Save number 3 already in the first 16 minutes of action tonight. Grayson Lynch, chance to set up another Cougar opportunity. Takes the shot herself, and Winston, lunging to the left, able to control it. This senior goalkeeper was second in the Big Sky in saves last year behind Aaliyah Fasili. Washington State seeing flashbacks already of a tough performance against a tough keeper last week. The opportunities were there, and that's the great thing for Washington State. Talking to Todd Schulenberger this week, a lot of positivity about the opportunities that Washington State had a week ago. 39 shots. But Megan McClure, the first team All-Sun Belt goalkeeper, was nails in front of net for the Red Wolves. Eastern Washington can attest they fell 1-0 on Saturday to that same club. Good trip out to the Northwest for Arkansas State, and Enzi Broussard flagged offsides. Broussard with a couple early shot opportunities. 2 for her, 2 for Lynch, 2 for Bennett, and 1 for Frimpong Ellertson, the 7 Cougar shots in the first 17 and a half minutes. Bridget Reekin able to let it get all the way to the end line for a Washington State goal kick. Their substitution for Eastern Washington will be Janae Lee coming off. Joining the match, Brooke Flores. Has 14 career starts, the sophomore from California. 10 of her 15 career shots have landed on frame. So maybe a piece here for Missy Strasburg to insert into this game to try to get some shot opportunities going for Eastern Washington. That'll have to start out of the midfield. Players battling the sun in this spot as it pours in over the west side of the field. Gathright sending forward for Elise Bennett. And Bennett trying to make a pretty touch along the sideline. Couldn't control it. The story for Eastern Washington is a quick and busy transition this year. It was in July when Missy Strasburg got into this Eastern Washington program, and now it's a fresh start for everyone. She went through a coaching change in her playing time at Gonzaga. As the Cougars mount something here via Broussard, it's turned away. Elder Hammond was able to send it away from the box. Now the Cougars recollect through Grayson Lynch. Lynch trying to cross. Tabbed Henderson. And a corner kick coming for Washington State for Sydney Pulver. Coach Strasburg said that's the great thing for Eastern Washington, its players. Fresh start, new coaching staff, chance to prove yourself for everybody. Here in the 20th minute, Cougars trying to convert on corner kick number 2. Pulver looking far post, that's punched out by Winston. Another great play by Kelsey Winston inside the box. Kaya Maness runs it down far side, subs for both Eastern Washington and Washington State as we near the halfway mark of the first half. Taylor Matheny will enter for Eastern Washington and Alyssa Gray for Washington State. See Gray there, a forward from Gig Harbor. Started 9 of 10 matches last year. Didn't register a shot last week. Cougar opportunity here. Taken away once again by Winston. Another opportunity for Elise Bennett. Cougars peppering the shots once again, as they did a week ago. Pulver took a tumble in the midfield. Got locked up with Kem and is staying down. Maddie Kem trying to play forward. Martin has a touch to Terrell. Best opportunity for Eastern Washington so far, and Terrell earns the corner. Able to angle it off Micaiah Maness. Sydney Pulver, who is down, is back up. Play will continue on. See the Cougar coaching staff, Matt Kagan specifically, having a discussion at the bench with the official at the table. Brittany Delridge will take the corner kick. Washington State contending that Sydney Pulver was fouled trying to get to that ball in the midfield. Delridge angling it in. Keister was there. Both teams calling for it. It'll be a goal kick to Washington State. Officials say last off the cleat of Keister. Second team All Big Sky member was the target of that opportunity. Has 9 career goals, Soraya Keister. Marissa Zucchetto so far tonight has not faced a shot. Grayson Lynch trying to get it ahead. Marissa Mills took away the opportunity. Cougars building this out of the back. Studer. Quick turn of the direction. Frimpong Ellertson trying to get back to Studer. Kem trying to step up into it after a nice play by Delridge. Here's Keister. Looking to get it outside for Martin. Martin earned a corner last time. This time loses it out the side and throw for Washington State. The Cougars have played really well all time against these regional opponents like Eastern Washington. 43-2-1, the all-time record for Washington State against Gonzaga, Eastern Washington, and Idaho. They've outscored those 3 teams 166-18 all times. The Cougars have done a great job against their regional rivals. Trip on the far side. Studer called for it. She caught the cleats of Brooke Flores, who's checked in here in the first half. Sydney Studer, the Oregon State transfer, will eventually wear number 34. Started the season wearing number 30. A senior from California, had 4 shots, a shot on goal last week. Set piece opportunity for Eastern Washington. Delridge once again to take it. Does send it into the box here. Grayson Lynch able to clear it. Come back out through Marissa Mills. Great play by Delridge to reverse it out. Now the backs can get to work for Eastern Washington. Martin still taking a lot of ball pressure. Delridge looking for somewhere to go. Gray nearly got there. Maness steps up into it. Counter for the Cougars. Lynch, another well-placed ball. Elise Bennett crashes into Maya Elder Hammond. Throw goes Eastern Washington's direction. Cougars will make 3 substitutions at the next opportunity. See Elise Bennett was chasing after that pass from Grayson Lynch. Just placed some really nice ones for the Cougars here in the first 25 minutes of action tonight. Eastern Washington starting to carve out some opportunities. Pulver tangled up with Terrell. Twists it away up to Gray, who's now tied up with Mills, and a foul against Marissa Mills. Mills familiar with the Cougar defensive back Reese Tappan. The pair played together at Liberty High School. 2017, their club went 19-2-1 on the way to a state championship. The theme between these two teams, lots of players who are very familiar with each other from the regional club and high school circuits. A lot of names from Washington, California on these rosters, even Colorado well represented. Kem with a very soft touch to Terrell. Big ball up forward. Bridget Reekin, though, is able to undercut it. Was it trying to get an opportunity outside for Taylor Matheny. Grayson Lynch, who's been the catalyst of the Washington State attack so far in terms of distributing, finds Gray. Gray met two defenders right away, and Maddie Kem's going to be able to clear this out of the top of the box. Elder Hammond Mills were both there. And Eastern Washington able to meet Alyssa Gray with a wall. Aleli Hernandez-Repreza, who started last match, will come in for Washington State. Marin Wielden will enter into this as well. And the third check-in for the Cougars, Margie DeTrizio. See Hernandez-Repreza, who's a senior with 5 career assists. Played in a total of 27 minutes last week for the Cougars, despite getting the start. DeTrizio had a goal last year against Eastern Washington. Wastes no time to send one skipping in at Winston. A 9th Cougars shot, but a relatively easy one to handle for Kelsey Winston. Missy Strasburg said this Eastern Washington team is getting better by the minute sometimes. Sarai Keister got tangled up with Sydney Studer. No whistle comes. Officials say play on. Gray able to head it forward, but nobody's on the backside. That's been the excitement for Missy Strasburg, and that the team can improve so quickly. Introducing a new system that's evolving into an organized defensive pressure that's going to rely on very tactical counters for Eastern Washington. And as the team gets more used to that, taking in the concepts, again, Strasburg a little bit later to the game than you might like to be on the coaching transition side of things, just by pure timing, but has enjoyed the early season challenge. Lynch, great move. The shot knocked off of Delridge. DeTrizio turns it. That's not there. Gray follows. Batted by Winston. And Alyssa Gray puts away her second career goal. The sophomore from Gig Harbor giving Washington State a 1-0 advantage. It was as if everything paused in the box. And then Washington State converts. Great job by DeTrizio to keep it going, and then Alyssa Gray. Lynch's shot was blocked to start the sequence. Then a save by Winston, and the rebound results in a goal for Alyssa Gray. The first goal in the run of play for Washington State this year. Lone goal against Arkansas State was on a penalty kick. That just a second shy of the 30th minute. The crossing action bounces right to Marissa Zucchetto. 1-0 Washington State, 15 minutes left in the first half. And the 11th shot is what finally found back in net for the Cougars. Reekin through Studer. Khalees Barton, who's joined the match for Washington State as well. Trying to play it forward to Gray. Mills is there on the backside to cover. Delridge chases it down and knocks it back to Winston, who quickly clears it away from Box. So now the Cougars with a lot of fresh legs into this match. Here into the back third of the opening half. Chance to do something with it. Reese Tappan finds Gray. Trying to combo back to Tappan, and the pass just off the mark. Todd Schulenberger enjoyed that depth in the first match against Arkansas State. Really kind of seemed like everybody had a moment in that match and played fairly comfortably for Washington State. Really welcome sign for the seventh-year coach of the Cougars. See everybody contributing early on. So look back at the goal for Washington State moments ago. Grayson Lynch had that initial shot. It was blocked. DeTrizio saved, and then Gray able to finish it. Persistence for the Cougars pays off in goal number 1 of the night. Delridge turns it wide. Now big run as the Jets turned on by Brooke Flores. Grayson Lynch making the fine defensive play for Washington State. Lynch already some great passing in this match. 3 shots last time out. Had a yellow card as well. Has played very aggressively for Washington State. It's paid off for the junior. He's 2 years removed from a hip surgery. That play by DeTrizio to take it away from Flores. Keeps the Jets going. Pass to Gray. Trying to get a shot to it. It was blocked up. Henderson and Elder Hammond are both there. Cougars are trying to build it again. Grace Terrell forces a throw in. Another sub will come for Washington State. Cougars have gone a couple players deeper in the opening half as Jay Leland now becomes the 16th on the pitch for the Cougars, sophomore from Irvine, California. Did not play last week against Arkansas State, so making her first appearance of the season, Jay Leland for Washington State. Eastern Washington had an attack building middle portion of this first half. Hasn't resulted in any shots. It's taken 7 saves already from Kelsey Winston here in the opening 33 minutes. Turned down a net by Eastern Washington. Khalees Barton through to DeTrizio, who finds Jay Leland for a cross. Wheeldon trying to get to it on the backside, and Mills got a cleat in the right place. Now Sydney Studer had trouble possessing it. It's taken out by Keister. Wide for a quick touch. Big effort to try to get it upfield to Mariana Henderson. Just kept away from her. A little change in where Henderson's moved on the pitch. Reekin sending it in for the Cougars after the foul. Gray heading it on, hits post. Cougars trying to follow. Gray gets shoved. That's right on the edge of the 6, no whistle. Scrambling for Eastern Washington to get that away, and crisis averted for the Eagles. Nearly a 2-0 Washington State lead, inches away here in the 35th minute. Land looking out wide. It's Stay on the ground. Here's Land. Strong shot! 2-zip Cougars. Didn't take long for J-Lo Land to get involved. And from distance, the Cougars take the lead. A 30th minute goal, and now a 35th minute goal for Washington State, and all of a sudden it's 2-0. And those shots, as Todd Schulenberger presumed, are starting to fall. Took just 2 minutes and 25 seconds for Jayla Land to leave her mark on this contest. For the Cougars, shot number 13. Make it 14. 9 of the 14 shots on goal, and 2-0 the Cougar advantage. Jayla Land, that is the first career goal for her. Eastern Washington trying to get right to it. Tangle in the corner. Throw will stay with the Eagles. Great energy from Jayla Land, who's now chatting back and forth with Soraya Keister after that play. Keister trying to fight amongst the trees. Keeps it bouncing around. Hernandez-Repreza trying to clear it out. Mills, a little too much into the back of Gray. For Jayla Land, the 11th match played, first career goal on a second career shot. Had one shot in 10 matches, 127 minutes last spring season. But gives the Cougars a 2-0 advantage. Coming up with the goal in the 35th minute. Another chance for Gray, make it a brace! Came to her quick, Alyssa Gray with the third career goal and the second of the night for the sophomore. The crowd in Pullman loves it. 3-0 Cougars. And it's coming in bunches now for Washington State. 30th minute goal, 35th minute goal, 37th minute goal. As Alyssa Gray gets her second. Crowd into this one now, 3-0 Cougars. Still time to go to half. Khalees Barton trying to work away from Angela Cipriano. Todd Schulenberger still upset with the official. Thought there was a foul in that play as well. DeTrizio on the run. Just trying to look for Gray again. Would have loved to have a third opportunity already. Todd Schulenberger was very positive this week. 39 shots. The one thing he would have liked to see was more conversion off the set pieces for the Cougars last week, but the positivity was because the opportunities were there, and the Cougars are now converting those opportunities as you said they would. Grace Terrell being marked by Eulalie Hernandez-Repreza. A little hand fighting in there as well. And then Reese Tappan earns it away. A bounds off of Terrell. Kem was trying to control it. Terrell maybe trying to shake the cobwebs. That took a hard deflection off her right side. Cougars flipping the field. Great speed for Gray to keep into this. It's for an individual touch and is fouled. Maya Elder Hammond trying to hedge off Alyssa Gray a little too much. And now yellow card issued as well. First yellow card of the match. The officials sensing this getting a little chippier as Washington State has grabbed serious momentum tonight on the Palouse. Be a three-player wall for Eastern Washington. Eulalie Hernandez-Repreza has the set piece from just a little ways outside of the corner of the 18. It goes to Gray. Gray, a shot from distance, just a little too high. Was vying for the hat trick here in the first half. It was deflected, and a Cougar corner kick is coming. It's the third corner kick for Washington State. Eulalie Hernandez-Repreza will re-rack it for the Cougars. Just took the set piece from the field of play. Now we'll work out of the corner. Bridget Reekin is in by net. Had a goal in the exhibition. Winston got caught by Wheeldon, but able to make the catch. Marin Wheeldon, who played 53 minutes last week, was right in the mix to try to earn a fourth goal for Washington State. And Kelsey Winston, who's now under duress in net for Eastern Washington, happily sending it away to midfield. Handball against Studer. Eastern Washington so far this year has faced Gonzaga and then Arkansas State. It was a tough start against Gonzaga, 4-0. The Zags blanked them, but Gonzaga's off to a tremendous start this year. They've won some big matches and a substitution coming. Zags have started 2-1 this season. And Missy Strasburg, who played for that program, said this might be one of the best teams they've had. Already earned a win against Power 5 competition as well as Eastern Washington, and played real tight with Purdue a day ago. Trying to stay with it, Cipriano. Wheeldon able to get to it outside. Alyssa Gray, who's been all over the top of this Washington State attack, was trying to get to that. Cipriano able to get it wide to Flores. And Studer earns it back for Washington State. Nice find to Reese Tappin. Cycles back through Maness. Big square pass. Change the field. Khalees Barton. There's Jayla Land, who has a goal in this one as well. Up into the midfield. Here's a nice combination to flip it. Studer, clean tackle. Last off of Kem, Washington State can get possession right back into the final 4 minutes of the first half. See Matt Kagan hand the ball off to Khalees Barton, the senior from Renton. Matt Kagan was at Oregon State last year. There's Kevin Boyd, another assistant for Washington State, who has Pac-10 and 12 head coaching experience. And Todd Schulenberger said that's very valuable this year with 35 players. At times, Todd said it's felt like having kind of three teams. You have that many players. It's great to have coaches who you know can develop different groups while you're working with kind of one of those three subgroups. It's turned out to be real positive for Washington State in terms of the staff structure. Under Hammond chasing in line, Alyssa Gray trying to get there, but it's a goal kick instead. Cougars, who played those 18 players first match, saw 7 seniors, 5 juniors, 4 sophomores, 2 true freshmen. Kelsey Winston, who's out of Pasco's, faced 15 shots in this match, made 7 saves. But the Cougars have scored 3 goals on great strikes, 2 for Alyssa Gray, 1 for Jayla Land. Laylee Hernandez-Repreza. Margie DeTrizio, though, was stuck. Couldn't get the footing to start a run. Cleared so Washington State can set the defense. 2 minutes left to halftime. Field's in the shade now. Laylee Hernandez-Repreza, who got the start last week, helped Washington State to 5 shutouts last year, was a primary replacement for Bree Alger when she went down with an injury, and that was a little under halfway into the first match of the season for Bree Alger. Good news is the Cougars expect her back very soon. Not an exact time frame on when, but she's right around the corner to rejoining Washington State. That's an all Pac-12 team member from 2019 who the Cougars will welcome back with open arms. Layla Hernandez-Repreza redirecting it off of Mariana Henderson. Little over a minute left for the Cougars to mount something in the first half. Drumline getting to work in that corner for Washington State. Cougars happy with the opportunities and conversions they've put up here in half number 1. And there have been some really good saves out of the 7 for Kelsey Winston as well, keeping some others out of net for Washington State. Khalees Barton trying everything to stay in with that. Maddie Kem dispossessed by Marin Wheeldon. Turns it around right away for Barton. Henderson will track this down on the backside of the play. Kalista Kakuz checked in the final minutes of this half. Keeps it in along the sideline. Cipriano, as Kem wanted to play it forward, but didn't have the connection with Keister to run onto it. That's going to be it for the first 45 minutes in Pullman. Washington State, a 3-0 lead heading to the half. Plenty of reason to smile for Marissa Zucchetto. Didn't face a shot in the first 45 minutes. And Alyssa Gray and Jayla Land backed her up. A brace already for Gray, looking for a hat trick. Jayla Land's got one as well, and the crowd's happy here at the half. 3-0 Washington State. We break for halftime, and we'll be back with more here on Pac-12 Plus. 3-0 halftime lead for Washington State against Eastern Washington, and the Cougars looking to make it 44-2-1 all time against the regional rivals of Idaho, Gonzaga, and this Eastern Washington team. Crowd likes what they've seen through the first 45 minutes of action. And it was an exciting opening 45. The Cougars' goals came in bunches. Alyssa Gray had the first opportunity for Washington State. And Margie DeTrizio, a rebound off of a Grayson Lynch shot. Gray puts it away. First Cougar goal from the run of play this year for Washington State, and that came 1 second into the 30th minute. Then Jayla Land, 2 minutes after checking into the game, gets an opportunity from just inside the 18, tucks it upper corner, and that's the first career goal for the sophomore Jayla Land. 2-zip Cougars. That was just a few minutes after Gray's first goal. Then Laylee Hernandez-Repreza. It was flicked on by Wheeldon. Gray finishes it. 2 goals in the first half for Alyssa Gray, who's now up to 3 on her career after starting 9 of 10 matches last year. A pair of sophomores powering Washington State to the 3-0 lead after the first 45 minutes of play. See the big disparity, shots and shots on goal. Cougars keep plugging away. Now a total of 54 shots, or 55 shots rather, in the first match and a half they've played. 10 of 16 on goals, great. And despite the 3 goals, Kelsey Winston had 7 pretty big saves in the first half as well for Eastern Washington, as the Eagles look to climb out of this in half number 2. Washington State is going to make a change in goal into half number 2. Nadia Cooper will be the goalkeeper for Washington State. The freshman from Houston, Texas, who's going to have a great career ahead of her at Washington State if all things go as planned. A stalwart in the U.S. national team system. Has been a part of a lot of U17 tournaments, has played internationally against teams like England before the pandemic shut it down. But a really big U.S. Soccer Development Academy goalkeeper. For defense plays as well as it did in the first half, may not face a shot in half number 2, as Eastern Washington doesn't have one yet. Elise Bennett trying to charge forward with it, and Winston will come scoop it up. So some work to do for the Eagles, who have a non-conference schedule. It's pretty tough this year. And part of that by design, part of that by necessity. As we mentioned earlier in the match, Missy Strasburg didn't necessarily come into Eastern Washington with a depth of time in the first offseason. This is pretty normal for new head coaches, but hers may be a little tighter schedule even than that. Lynch trying to play it forward on a big ball for Gray. Winston wins the race to it. Cougars are trying to feed Alyssa Gray, who did have an opportunity for the hat trick in the closing minutes of the first half. Love to get one for the Cougars. Definitely had some frustration in terms of the shots not terminating in the first match. Lynch gets tossed down. Officials are going to stop this, and this will likely be a card. Maddie Morgan got a good piece of Grayson Lynch and does pick up the yellow card. Full on grabbed a hold of Lynch, took her to the turf. Second yellow card against Eastern Washington in the match tonight. And Sydney Pulver will set up for the set piece off the foul. Pulver ready to roll. Sends it on in, headed away by Maya Elder Hammond. Enzi Broussard. Lost footing, there's a foul. That against Grace Terrell. Last time the Cougars had a 3+ goal match, it was in 2019. Morgan Weaver's outstanding 4-goal performance against Colorado in November. Weaver, who's been outstanding in the NWSL. Pulver was set, whistle comes, Bennett's on the backside. An official wasn't ready for the set piece to get going. We're still setting things up, so Sydney Pulver will have to redo it. Couple minutes in, lots of opportunities tonight for Washington State, trying to earn another. Rieken was there, Winston punched it away. Bridget Rieken, who's got the tall frame on the back end, 6-foot defensive back for Washington State, who got up into the mix in that corner. A throw here for Eastern Washington. Kim trying to help get it out of this back third. Henderson out wide towards Terrell, and Reese Tappan knocks it out of play. Washington State unbeaten in its last 8 home matches. Trying to make that 9 tonight. 6-0 all time in this series against Eastern Washington. Elder Hammond. So this gets stuck between Broussard and Frimpong Ellertson. Now Gray looking for some room. It's deflected away by Morgan. Keister getting it back from Martin. One more touch outside wide for Flores. Tries to get there, and the Cougars again played off really well. That's Khalees Barton, the senior from Renton, who returned from injury last year. Played in 11 of the 12 Cougar matches. Had 2 shots, 1 on goal last week in the Cougar opener. Flores, a little flick over the shoulder of Pulver. Got it back from Keister. Trying to angle in. Pulver knocks into Flores. No foul comes. Enzi Broussard gets tied up by Maddie Kemp. Plays on. Continues to get wide to Alyssa Gray. Cougars have action on the backside. Bennett heading in. It's in! Beautiful header, Elise Bennett. Looked like there was a redirect there as well, as it's 4-0 Cougars. Elise Bennett's 17th career goal, first of the season. And the leader of the Washington State attack checks in with the Cougars' 4th goal. Matches the tally from last year in what was a 4-1 final against Eastern Washington. That's the last time that the Cougars scored 4, back in February last year. Elise Bennett the goal, and Alyssa Gray gets the assist to go alongside the 2 goals tonight. Big night for Alyssa Gray as well. It started, and before the statistics, with Enzi Broussard making this great run, getting through Maddie Kemp, then finding Alyssa Gray, and it came right back into the middle, and there was Elise Bennett knocking it home. Cougars trying to build another opportunity right away. Frimpong Ellertson had the wrong thought with Khalees Barton. Not quite on the same page there, but the goals now coming steadily for Washington State. For Alyssa Gray, that is the first assist of her career. So quite a night. Came in with 1 goal, no assists for the sophomore, and collects a pair of goals and assists in the first 50 minutes. Cougars have a trio there. Flores just knocks it high. Keister tries to race to it and was last to touch it. Goals last year for the Cougars were Grayson Lynch, Makamai Gomera-Stevens, Elise Bennett, Margie DeTrizio. Saw Grayson Lynch have some opportunities early, was really involved in the passing for Washington State, did a great job of building up the opportunities for the Cougars. Looked like Brittany Delridge was grabbing at her right leg. They're trying to help get a pass through, and now stretching out right at midfield. So Washington State has the throw-in. Delridge from Missoula, Montana. Did not play Saturday. It was the first game she had missed since 2019. A former Gatorade Player of the Year in Montana. Came in as a sub in this one. Gray tumbles alongside Elder Hammond. No whistle comes. But Eastern Washington happy to see Brittany Delridge back in. Player who will be a big piece of things going forward for the Eagles. 4-0 Washington State, minute 53. That is through Delridge out towards Flores. Couldn't race it down. after Washington State, big weekend coming up for Eastern Washington on the road against Seattle U out on Capitol Hill, and then Cal State Bakersfield in Cheney on Sunday. So road and home for Eastern Washington this upcoming week. Washington State, on the other hand, take to the road on Thursday against San Diego State. Get back up to Pullman for a Sunday matchup with Hawaii. Then they welcome Seattle U following Thursday. It's Nadia Cooper, who we mentioned, checked in at the half for Washington State. Still hasn't had to face a shot, as has been the story for the Cougars tonight. Tappan fighting for positioning with Terrell. Was out by Morgan. Played in by Terrell once again. There's Cooper racing to it. Players tumble. Looked like right over the top of Cooper was Flores. Rican hit the deck after that, and now Rican is slow to get up. That early indication of the help from Reese Tappan would be maybe a cramp for Bridget Rican. Hope that's all it is. Rican, an important defender for Washington State, as the athletic training staff heads out onto the pitch to tend to the Cougar center back. So the rest of the team get together, talk shop in a 4-0 game. Just past 54 minutes.
Now in for the
Athletic
Cougs,
trainers are
number
bracing
30,
that leg
Studer.
as well. Sydney Studer returns for Washington State. Bridget Rican walking off under her own power towards the Washington State sideline. She'll have a ways to go to the Washington State sideline. She's down at the base of the Eastern Washington sideline. Also waiting is Anaya Cutler. Played in 7 games last year. A sophomore from Long Beach. Not checked in yet, but will have an opportunity for the Cougars. So we'll keep an eye on Bridget Rican, prominent center back for the Cougars, who went down there in that spot after the play at the net. Went tumbling over her goalkeeper, Nadia Cooper. Frimpong Ellertson sees Elise Bennett, trying to make sure she's on sides. Holds it for a cross, but missed wide of the net. That was a tough play. Little time for Elise Bennett to try to play to it on the end line. And now Anaya Cutler will enter for Washington State. First minutes of the season, after 103 minutes last year and 2 total shots. Played a season high 26 minutes in last year's season finale for the Cougars against rival Washington. Elise Bennett steadying her opportunity. Knocked it right off of the back of Mills. Now Frimpong Ellertson from deep, and that's punched out by Winston. Great save by Kelsey Winston. Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson was vying for career goal number 5. Her mom Tina over at the University of Washington, 43 career goals. That led the Huskies all time, but the Cougars have the junior from Vancouver on their side. Corner kick for Washington State. Studer a header, and it's just high. That's where Sydney Studer was so dangerous last year at Oregon State. Transferred to the Cougars for this senior season. Had 7 goals, which was 6th best at the Pac-12 last year. I think the number was 6 of the 7 goals from last season were aerial for Sydney Studer. Another Cougar defender with really a midfielder in this offense, 5'10", with a great frame. Elise Bennett trying to flick that on after the redirect off of Broussard, but couldn't get a lot behind it. 12 minutes into the second half, Cougars have added on to a 3-0 halftime advantage. Flores looking midfield for Morgan. The pass was out of her reach. Now the Cougars asking for it wide. It redirects for Cutler. Cutler trying to get to the end line, but couldn't steady it. High school All-American in soccer, Anaya Cutler. Played volleyball and soccer in high school in Long Beach. The Cougars also add Sophie Dimry to the mix. Takes the spot of Sydney Pulver. Dimry, a junior from California. Had a shot in 12 minutes in the opener for Washington State. Foul comes against the Cougars. Excuse me, it was not for Pulver. Dimry came in for Reese Tappett. Pulver was in on that last play and is in the midfield for the Cougars. Maya Elder Hammond out of Ashland, Oregon, takes the set piece opportunity. Studer trying to get to it. Backside. Looked like Keister racing around in the corner. Couple players hit the deck. Frimpong Ellertson hopping over the top of Delridge, was in on that play, and now starts the counter for Washington State. Here comes Cutler with a head of speed. Cutler trying to do it herself. Has it knocked away by Henderson. Make that Mills. Mills rather plays it out for a Washington State corner kick. Big time speed from Anaya Cutler. Now positions right in the middle of this corner kick opportunity, which will be taken by Sydney Pulver. Pulver is 4 starts away from top 10 all time at Washington State. Has 5 career assists. Off the set piece here, far side, nearly finished by the Cougars. That was Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson. Kelsey Winston just able to get a hand on it. Enzi Broussard out wide. The flag was up, would have been offsides. Instead, the Cougars let it go for a throw-in. Or excuse me, it'll be dropped there for the restart. Enzi Broussard was just behind that back line for Eastern Washington. Mariana Henderson trying to work to the wide side, foul. That's against Washington State. Cougars will have the 5th toughest non-conference slate in the Pac-12 this year. Gonna hit the road for the first time this week. Todd Schulenberger happy with what his team did the first match in opportunity. Said we weren't changing anything coming into match number 2, and the shots have converted for the Cougars. 4 goals. Soraya Keister gets tied up over with Sophie Dimry. So those two got a little chippy. Delridge will take the throw-in. There's a chip on the shoulder for Eastern Washington. Players, especially in these regional matchups, get really excited to come play at Washington State. A great facility that the Cougars have. Todd Schulenberger always knows this is like the Super Bowl for a lot of the regional teams that come into Pullman here. A chance to take down a Pac-12 opponent. Side's been relatively unfazed. Elise Bennett, hop step around Elder Hammond. Was looking for Frimpong Ellertson on the far side. We'll have to chase it to the corner. Great move. Cross for Cutler, just missed the header. Nia Cutler getting involved in that opportunity and has had some solid minutes as reserve here in half number 2. More subs coming, 2 for Washington State, 1 for Eastern Washington. Margie DeTrizio comes in, and Bray Cole, a freshman from Louisville, Colorado, coming in as Elise Bennett and Enzi Broussard will take a break. Soraya Keister heads to the bench for Eastern Washington. And a new check-in for the Eagles as well, as that is Anessa Campos. Cougars probably don't need much more of Enzi Broussard, Elise Bennett tonight. Holding a 4-0 lead and have not faced a shot. Cutler got tripped up. That's right at the edge of the box. We'll see where it is. It's just outside of the box. Just a hair outside of the 18. But a dangerous set piece coming for the Cougars as Cutler was tripped up. And a big opportunity brewing for Washington State. Pulver, the super senior, is ready to set it up. Going to be the most tenured player in Cougar history when it's all said and done. Off the wall. Frimpong Ellertson. One to Barton from distance. It's a little too wide. Miness holding it in for the moment. And then Henderson able to work it away for Eastern Washington. Big play by Barton to hold it in. DeTrizio trying to get a run onto it. It's a goal kick coming up. There's a big focus coming in from Missy Strasburg's side about winning balls, high pocket around midfield. It hasn't panned out. Possession's been Washington State oriented. The athleticism of the Cougars has shown, and this has been a tough matchup for Eastern Washington. A team that's handling a new system well, but still introducing that. Cougar crowd drum line, everybody here at the lower soccer field energized by a big second showing. Marin Wielden coming in. Kenzie Frimpong Ellertson gets the rest. Margie DeTrizio shielding off a defender. Mills was there to work it away. Barton needed one pass to Studer and kept it away from Campos. Goes back through Nadia Cooper. Marissa Zucchetto started for Washington State. Nadia Cooper the change at the half when the Cougars led 3-0. Cooper, an outstanding freshman for Washington State. They also have Allie Hay, a redshirt sophomore goalkeeper, who, like Zucchetto, has Canadian national team experience. And really some great goalkeeper depth left in this Cougar team. Bray Cole, the new addition for Washington State, was looking for the pass there. Freshman getting her first minutes of her Cougar career. Flores trying to get forward for Jillian Martin. Couldn't run onto it. These passes have been just a little too far out in front much of the time for Eastern Washington as Martin racing. That's been a piece of the problem in terms of connecting opportunities on net. The Cougar defensive backs are just really good too, and there's a prime example. It's Sophie Dimry, who's now going to reverse the field on her own. Dimry had a move outside with DeTrizio. Wasn't super happy with where it ended up. DeTrizio, nifty play to keep it in and wanted to find backside help Anaya Cutler's been all around the goal, but couldn't control that. It stays low. Elder Hammond clearing it out of the box. Dimry holds it in, gets it right back from Pulver. Cougars will set for another opportunity in the 67th minute. Studer trying to find Cutler, another goal kick coming. Couple substitutions working to enter for Eastern Washington. Angela Cipriano and Soraya Keister back in for Eastern Washington. It's Julian Martin and Maddie Morgan getting a rest. See Cipriano there. A second-year freshman from Wela, Hawaii. Didn't get a start tonight after 2 starts to start the season. Played in just 2 minutes last year, getting some big early minutes this season for Missy Strasburg's club. Up it goes for an opportunity. Nadia Cooper seeing it wide. Cougars want an offsides call. That shot opportunity for Inessa Campos. Got a good run in on the counter, and Inessa Campos, player for Eastern Washington who plays on the U.S. Deaf national team as well.
Now in for the Cougars, number 60,
California
Alyssa
native.
Gray, and number 21, Kalia Gathright.
Could factor into being an important part of the attack going forward as well as redshirt freshman for Eastern Washington. Played softball and soccer in high school and was a baseball manager as well. There's a lot of passion for softball, baseball alongside her work on the pitch, which has obviously been fantastic. That experience playing with the U.S. Deaf national team as well. Everyone looking around for a new ball after that sailed out of the confines of the lower soccer field. Wheeldon turns it around. Alyssa Gray back here in the midfield, who has 2 of the Cougar 4 goals. Gray with 2, Land with 1. Bennett a score as well. Kalia Gathright finding Alyssa Gray. Gray has an assist alongside the 2 goals. A crossing action here goes all the way back to Anaya Cutler. Now Cutler's turn to try to earn a cross for the Cougars. Does to Gathright, who has a header with not too much gas on it. Gathright, the freshman who impressed in the season opener. Standout sprinter in high school as well. Showcased not only speed to start the year for Washington State, but footwork. Made a lot of nice moves to get around for Arkansas State opposition last week. Again, Micaiah Maness allowing Washington State to set up defensively with this throw-in coming for Eastern Washington. Pullman starting to buzz. Students back, classes back in session. Athletics around the corner on the Palouse. Cougar volleyball be coming home. Soccer has a match next Sunday. And of course, the campus buzzing for football season, which is a week away as of about 30 minutes from now. It'll be an 8 o'clock kickoff. Cougar football gets started next Saturday. Nadia Cooper will have the goal kick coming for Washington State. Cougars have seen a lot pay off tonight in terms of the shots turning into goals. 25 shots, 15 on goal. 4 goals. Margie DeTrizio had to kind of click off the heels. Elder Hammond stepped in. Land, DeTrizio regaining positioning. Here's Gathright, cross. Oh, backside, Cougars almost were able to terminate that. Then the whistle comes, handball against Washington State as Jayla Land tried to control it. Along with another new addition, Audrey Weir. Actually, we'll have to check that. That's not Audrey Weir. That's Isabella Weaver. Weaver wearing a different number tonight for Washington State is in 91 instead of her usual 25. Of course, everybody knows Isabella's older sister, Morgan, will go down as one of, if not the all-time great in Washington State soccer. Isabella Weaver had an amazing season last year at Tacoma Community College. They went 15-6-3. She was the tip of the spear, scoring 15 goals, 4 multi-goal matches, was third in the NWAC in scoring. Gray, trying from distance, was looking for a hat trick. Fans like the fact that it broke the fence behind the goal. It's just behind Kelsey Winston, the goalkeeper. We'll see if we can get a look at it. It's a blazing shot from Melissa Gray, who's had a 2-goal, 1-assist night. There's that broken fence. Its time may have come to an end at the lower soccer field. About 17 minutes left in this match. Foul came against Eastern Washington, and still some talking from Sry Keister, who's defending the play by Brittany Delridge. Washington State has had some opportunities, little fleeting of late. Last goal came in the 50th minute for the Cougars, courtesy of Elise Bennett. But there have been some good opportunities here down the stretch. Big play from distance. That's headed on just wide. Big opportunity for Marin Wielden from Micaiah Minez. Wielden wanted to make something happen with Jillian Martin coming back in for Eastern Washington. Take a look at this. An impressive for Minez, took the big run up and really played it forward. Wielden trying to make it happen there on the back end. Mills. Right back through Martin, who just entered in. Weaver trying to scamper to it in the box, and it goes high out to midfield. Studer lost a little footing. Martin fighting to it. Studer will play back to Cooper. See what happens here in the midfield. Cole and Wielden. Cougars have a pair running onto this, but it's paced out in front for the keeper, Winston, to pick it up, no problem. Final 15 minutes of action tonight in Pullman. Cougars have plenty of reserves in right now. Game in hand. Chance to keep some play going. Keister was fouled. It'll get set up back there. She got tangled up with Bray Cole. Cole out of Monarch High School in Colorado. Kaya Minez is also from Colorado for Washington State, as are Sydney Pulver and Bree Alger, who we mentioned should be back soon for the Cougars. A good little Colorado pipeline brewing for WSU. Isabella Weaver. Nice pass to DeTrizio. She's essentially 1v1, and a save by Winston. Wow, big pass from Isabella Weaver to Margie DeTrizio, and then a great play to cap it for Kelsey Winston on the save. Another corner kick coming for Washington State, number 6. Melissa Gray will take it as Rose Young comes in for Washington State. Has played 57 total minutes in 5 games. A junior from Seattle, Washington. Was a club teammate alongside Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson. Gray's corner. Hits the side of the net. Alyssa Gray, 2 goals and an assist tonight. Probably would get the vote for the player of the match. There have been a lot of good individual performances for the Cougars. And as a team, they have dealt with allowing just 1 shot, 28-1 the shot advantage for Washington State. Pretty formidable for the Cougs. Eastern Washington has 9 seniors. As the season settles in, believe that the Eagles will get in some games a little better than they have been. Cole's whistled for a foul again. This time cutting out the feet of Flores. Cougars disagree with the call, and there's Maren Wielden talking about it as well. It's about 12 minutes left in the game. Wielden, who played 53 minutes in the season opener, a top 50 recruit out of Upland High School. Her dad, Bo, was her coach. Sister, Shayna, played for the Cougs and is on staff. It's a video coordinator, operations kind of help person for Washington State. Bray Cole. Looking for an opportunity forward. Elder Hammond has it in the center back spot. At midfield, Inessa Campos, who has that lone shot for Eastern Washington tonight. And spits through all the way back to Kelsey Winston. But a lot for the Cougars to build on heading into the first road trip of the season. Thursday against San Diego State. Back home for Hawaii on Sunday, which will be in the Northwest for a pair of matches. They'll piggyback it with a match with Idaho, who the Cougars faced in exhibition play this season. Won't even have to probably leave the same hotel for that week set for Hawaii. Sydney Studer chasing in line, able to prevent a corner kick opportunity, instead a wide side throw in. But the key for Eastern Washington, talking this week with Missy Strasburg, is just to see the growth going forward. She's been really impressed with the hard work the team's put in, the positive attitude. They're still plugging in a lot of different pieces, seeing where people fit as the system gets learned. And some of those rotations and things are going to have to play themselves out in a tough non-conference schedule before getting to Big Sky play. But the Eagles just a couple of years removed from being a 6-2-1 team in Big Sky play. So there's experience in the 9 seniors and experience winning in this program. Big shot wide. Another opportunity for Eastern Washington. That time it was from Cipriano. Second shot opportunity. So we've been talking about that match. It's on Sunday at 1 o'clock. It'll be available on Pac-12 Insider and Pac12.com. On screen there, Audrey Weir, who is the lone Hawaiian for the Cougars right now. She's from Kaluakona, Hawaii. Did play in San Diego, though, for the San Diego Surf Club circuit, and live with host families, Audrey Weir. It's a cool story for Washington State as well. Player committed to getting that opportunity in the Southwest. Dimmery's opportunity taken away. Again, Cipriano stepping into it after the shot just moments ago. That's right, Keister takes a hard play from Marin Wheeldon. Cougars played 19 Todd Schulenberger's count first match. Into the box it goes, and it's too far out ahead of Jillian Martin. But the Cougars have gone deeper than that. 22 have touched the pitch tonight for Washington State. Liz Weiss, the junior from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, see there, one of those 22. So again for Keister, Maness able to block the shot from distance. Treasio looking for the midfield. The Cougars do have a little bit of a different circuit than normal in right now. Again, stepping into the play, Macy Formonix. Cougars have made some more substitutions here, and that list is going to continue to grow. As soon as we said it's 22, it's now 23. Formonix is a freshman from Phoenix, Arizona. 6 minutes and change left. Marin Wheeldon speaking with the official after the last foul. Kind of plays as the captain of the midfield right now for Washington State of players on the pitch. 2,243 the announced attendance tonight at the lower soccer field in Pullman after over 3,000 came through the gates opening night. It's a facility that consistently stays amongst the top ranks in the Pac-12. Great place to come enjoy soccer. Formonix looking for Young. Young, 2 moves, right back to Formonix. The freshman from Phoenix is trying to weave in between traffic. And Keister clears it away for Eastern Washington. Weaver has it played away. Big step up by Karina Fraley, who's checked in for Eastern Washington. Lots of subs late, shot from distance. Off the mark for Laylee Hernandez or present. It was then her first goal opportunity, 5 career assists. Some more changes for Washington State. Megan Sullivan, as well as McKenna McGill as the Cougars empty the bench late. Close to holding Eastern Washington scoreless for what would be the 3rd straight match to start the year without a goal for Eastern Washington. Last time that happened was in 2013. Eastern went 3-15 that season. They fell 1-0 to Gonzaga, 2-0 to Seattle U, 2-0 to Nevada in the first 3 matches that season. Maddie Morgan returns for Eastern Washington. Chance to work out an offensive opportunity here in the attacking third. Keister. Cooper chasing it wide, but it is wide. We'll see another goal kick coming. Another one to be proud of for the Cougars. Back-to-back 30-shot matches potentially coming up if the Cougars can grab one more in the final 4 minutes.
Number 26, Sky McMillan.
Sky McMillan will also come in for WSU in the final 4 minutes. A junior from Phoenix who played in 3 matches last year. Did suit up in some of the Cougars' 2019 College Cup run. McGill being challenged by Mills. throw in after that. Be for Rose Young, the junior from Seattle, who is making her first appearance of the season as well. Throw in goes all the way to the end line. The Cougars with a win tonight will move to 1-0-1, and it'll be 9 consecutive home matches without a defeat for Washington State. Maness still challenging into the late minutes, anchoring that Cougar back line. McGill getting an opportunity. McGill trying to get around Mills. Mills makes a tough play, McGill recovers, and a corner kick coming for Washington State.
That's another Cougar corner kick.
With under 3 minutes left tonight in Pullman. McGill's lone career assist came last year against this Eastern Washington team. It was on Margie DeTrizio's late game goal that gave the Cougars a 4-1 final. Eastern did strike first last year. That was thanks to Maddie Kim on a PK. Nothing on the backside of the corner. Kim scored that in the 4th minute last season, but the Cougars came right back in the 7th. And never looked back, and they've scored 8 unanswered in the series against Eastern Washington now after the 4-goal showing tonight. Officials stopping Wheeldon to make that Formanek after making that aggressive play in the midfield. Cougars are gonna play to win that midfield ball, something they've done so well tonight to etch out the huge shot disparity. Mills having to keep it away from McGill, but cleared enough for a longer distance throw in for Young. Studer trying to find Hernandez Repreza, and that's out of the reach of her right foot. So the Cougars were one of 2 teams left in the Pac-12 that hadn't played a second game yet. The other, Arizona. USC, the only team in action tonight.
1 minute remaining.
There were a trio of games yesterday, but tonight just USC. Then there's a pretty good slate tomorrow. The Cougars would have been there, but the decision was made by both sides to move this match up a day with a 2-match week coming, and it turned into a nice Saturday night for soccer on the Palouse. It's still very early season. One of the notes, the trip out to North Carolina for Washington, which had a breakout year last year in the Pac-12, has resulted in a pair of losses. Fell 4-1 to North Carolina, 2-1 to Duke, and the Huskies have opened the year 0-2. So the final seconds ticking away in Pullman tonight. 2 goals and assist for Alyssa Gray. Jayla Land and Elise Bennett scored for the Cougars as well. And they shut out Eastern Washington to earn the first clean sheet of the season. 4-0 Washington State. Cameras shake as the crowd stomps on the bleachers in applause, and the Cougars get a win at home, 4-0 over regional rival Eastern Washington. Improved to 44-2-1 all time against the combination of Gonzaga, Idaho, and Eastern. And the Cougars moved to 1-0-1 on the season before taking to the road this week to take on San Diego State. Eastern Washington 0-3 now on the season, and the Eagles, as we said, coming up on the road against Seattle U on Thursday. It'll be a big trip for Eastern before getting home to Cheney to continue the non-conference slate for the Eagles. Grayson Lynch, you see there, started it off early. The captain, Micaiah Maness, played another stellar game that went the distance, and the Cougars cap a happy Saturday night in Pullman, 4-0. We thank you for being with us on Pac-12 Plus. For Jared Prengruber, our producer, and the rest of our fantastic crew, this is Trevor Williams. Say good night from Pullman. Cougars a clean sheet, shutout, 4-0, and their first victory of the season here on Pac-12 Plus.